This episode is brought to you by Tabletop Dominion. If the antics of the circus have given you the desire to roll some dice of your own, head to tabletopdominion.com and use the code DESIRE10. We head back to Triboar, saddened but we're sure we did everything that we could do. We fought the zombie horde with magic axe and sword to find the missing children too. We took poor Alma home, the kindness she was shown, well met by parents gratefully. But next we must endure a harder task, I'm sure, for now it's Torrance family. We must tell his mum, his unattractive mum, I just don't think she'll understand. Or when we tell his mum, his unattractive mum, she might blame his death upon this man. We didn't face an easy task, but still we were quite shocked. For the anger from Malestra has left us duly rocked. Could we have saved him if we tried? Surely we're not to blame in Dice and Desire.
And so you find yourselves outside the Lion Shield Costa, I believe the name of the shop is, having had a bit of a dressing down for Alestra about her poor son. It's quite late at night now. It's around about 11 o'clock at night. You could, if you wanted to. I don't think, without putting any words into your mouth, I don't think the plan is to stay in Triboar. You could, if you wanted to, head on back out onto the road. But as I say, it's 11 o'clock at night, generally considered bad form to be travelling at night. And obviously you want to probably get a bit of a rest. So you could stay in Triboar. I'll leave it up to you. What do you guys want to do from here?
I think we should stay and try and get out early doors. However, I think it would be useful to speak to Darathra. I wonder whether it might be better to just go and speak to her now, rather than first thing in the morning.
You know what she's like when she gets disturbed after her supper. So let's get in before she's had her supper.
I think it's fairly likely that she'll still be up and working at 11.
100%. Supper for her is 11:45, so...
Yeah.
Did you steal her diary while we were there? He just stood there reading it as we're sort of making plans.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's weird you know more about this NPC than I do.
Speaking of stealing paperwork, I've just had a terrible flashback to the Water Baron's office and that absolute shit show where we ruined all of her files.
Yeah, she's probably figured it out by now.
Yeah, you also did a bit of a circus show literally in that entire thing. There was like some fireworks. Yeah. I'm sure Vin probably did something running around to some animal stuff.
Yeah,
I flipped the table. That was fun.
Yeah. Right. So you want to go to Darathra at 11 o'clock at night?
Yeah, you said that like there was a little bit of disdain in your voice.
Very much some concealed.
I'm just clarifying the facts of what you're doing. You want to go and see somebody.
I think she would want us to go and see her at this. She wouldn't want us to wait.
We've been through a lot together.
Okay. All right.
I mean, for a short period of time, Mike literally controlled her like a puppet.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay, I'm not sure about puppet, but yes, okay.
No, I won't.
No. Right, okay then. So you are, you're luckily where you are, the Lion Share shop, which I'll just check the name, the Lion Share shop is actually just by the town square. So actually from here, you can pretty much see, you can see the Lord Protector's tower. And you're right. Well done, Dweezil. Have an inspiration point for realising that she would be still working at 11 o'clock.
Thank you, Nathan.
A thing that I've just made up then and there because you suggested it. I mean, the reality is that they're still only a couple of days removed from having a giant attack, so they're probably going through some stuff to try and get the town back on track. So you head on over, but what are you doing? Because obviously it's 11 o'clock at night. It doesn't mean that just because she's working doesn't necessarily mean that the tower is open to all and sundry.
Send Quinch up, innit? Standard. Quinch
Yeah,
flies
well,
up, knocks on the window.
Knock on the window, yeah. Mates
Wow,
race,
wings
isn't
come
it?
in. Wings come in handy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right then. So Quinch, you go flapping your dragon wings.
Yeah, so go up there. Is the window open or closed?
It's closed. It's closed.
So I knock extremely gently, but just getting louder.
As in, I hope you're in, but I'm not going to take no for an answer.
No, it's more not wanting to startle her.
Like how
What,
your
knocking
alarm
on
in the
our second
morning
floor
starts
window?
quietly.
Are you just doing it continuously, or do you stop?
Yeah, like just like a little.
That's an
taper
awful
off.
job of trying not to startle someone.
It's quite rhythmic, isn't it?
Okay, so you do that for a few seconds, and obviously it's worth noting that regardless of the situation, I think somebody knocking at your window when that window is on the first floor, it's quite unsettling. Most people come through the front door. So after a few seconds of doing that, the shutters come bursting open, and you see Darathra there with longsword in hand.
Archlady Darathra of the Harpers. I'm sorry to startle you. I thought you'd recognise my knock.
Quinch, what are you doing? What are you doing? Listen, go downstairs. I want to ask you in, but I don't think you can get in with your wings.
Yes,
out.
no. I just wanted to check that we could come up and see you. I'll walk up with the others now.
This is very unusual. But yeah, come down to the front door, and I'll let you. Are the others with you?
Yes, they are. Yes, yeah. This isn't a Dawson's Creek situation.
Can someone explain the
wanna
Dawson's
wait?
Creek reference, please?
Do you want to wait or?
Oh, that's good. I got that reference,
Okay.
Nate. Don't worry.
I'm lost.
Yeah.
It's the lyrics to
doesn't
the
matter.
intro.
Oh wow!
I don't want to wait.
Oh nice.
Right. So
what was his bit though?
so
What was his Dawson's Creek bit?
somebody coming knocking at a window? It's a very teenage thing to do, isn't it? It's kids coming up the old side of the house, knocking on windows, coming in.
It sounds fucking
Anyway.
awful.
Anyway, let's just move. Let's just move on. If you've seen any,
It was anarchy in the 90s. People were burglarizing each other left, right, and centre in the name of romance. It was a weird time.
Who played Dawson Creek? It was Donny van der Beek, wasn't it?
That's
It was basically like a show. See, let's face it.
Yeah, this is. Let's just move.
Oh,
on.
what was the theme tune? What was the theme tune to the OC? Car riding down to something else. Yeah.
And then you also had One Tree Hill. I don't want to be anything other than what I've been trying to be lately.
Oh wow! I'm not familiar with that one.
No.
Although there's got to be California. Is California 4 or 5 syllables? Because there's got to be somewhere near here.
California. 5? Is it not 5?
Yeah.
There's got to
always
be
get the last
somewhere
one.
near here that we can Zimmerman Hall. No.
Are you looking forward to editing this, Luke? Or?
Oh, I'm just rolling with it now. Fuck it.
This is all staying in. He's like, fuck it, you can have it.
The episode where we all
25
had a
minutes of this.
simultaneous stroke. Yeah.
That's what I call an orgy.
Oh, God.
So I think we were going. I've landed now.
Yeah, you've gone downstairs. By this time, Darathra has opened the door. Like you've given her enough time that she's got all the way down the stairs, and she's opened up and seen you all and said, "This."
Does she have an assistant working at this time, or is it just her?
No, that's the point. It's 11 o'clock at night, so the whole thing isn't open, but she is still working, doing paperwork and all that sort of stuff. So she sort of opens you, and even though she's seen Quinch a few seconds ago, she's somewhat still a bit confused by the fact, you guys rode out of town only a few days ago, and she's sort of like, "Yep, come in. I mean, this is most unusual this sort of time of night, but yeah, gentlemen, come in." and she takes you up to her office. And she says, "It's remarkable that you know, it's not often I work until this time of night, and it's remarkable the one night that I did work till 11 o'clock at night, that you guys come to my office at 11 o'clock at night. It's remarkable, really. What's up? What's the problem? I thought you'd left town. Is there an issue?"
No, we came back because we found the missing children. And we've returned the missing children to their parents. But upon finding the missing children, we've discovered something that we think you should be made aware of. How well do you know Nestor Rufio?
I mean, I'll come to that in a second. You found the children, though. Are they okay? Are they safe?
50-50. Some good news and some bad news. You're still thinking about the bad news, aren't you? Unfortunately, young Torrand, we brought his body back to rest in Triboar, but he's no longer. I don't know why he's dead, mate. Sorry.
Oh my goodness! I poor Torrand. That poor family. I can't imagine. I heard some commotion out there only a few minutes ago, and I by the time I looked out the window, I couldn't see anything. But poor Lester. I'll have to make a point to visit her tomorrow and make sure that, if there's anything that the town can do for her, then obviously we will. She's been through enough, obviously worrying about him for the last few weeks that it's just devastating. And the Widdens girl, is she okay?
Yep, smashing, good as gold. Back with her parents. She's had an unpleasant time, but she seems very well within herself, and she's back, and that's what matters.
That is absolutely what matters. Yeah. I'll have to speak to them as well, because, like you say, unpleasant business. I'm sure that they'll want some assistance in some way.
We did tell Alestra that her son was a hero. If it wasn't for Torrand, then I don't think we would have brought the Widdens girl back alive. He almost certainly saved her life. Alestra, to be honest with you, did not take great comfort in that. She's understandably very distraught, not particularly happy with us, but we take it on the chin.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm sure in a few days or weeks, I don't know how long, but Alestra will see reason in this. I'm sure that she's just grieving and she's just in pain and she's just lashing out. I'm sure. I know Alestra well enough to know that that's not her usual character. And please don't take it to heart. I'm sure she's just, as I say, she's just in pain, and poor woman. Anyway, you mentioned the Water Baron.
Yeah, Nestor Rufio. How well do you know her?
I mean, well enough. We're somewhat, we are neighbouring cities. We obviously have trade. We obviously get into communication with each other. I've met her a few times. I wouldn't say I know her particularly well personally, but what's the issue with Nestor then?
She's a nonce.
Prick.
Right, that's. I'll be honest. That's quite surprising news to a lot of people. I would imagine.
She has a hand in the. She had a hand in the disappearing children. She's been making deals with people, with creatures, with shady goings on, and has been allowing children to be abducted. We've got the feeling from our short time in Yartar and from our explorations looking after the children that she is, whilst upon having spent time in two neighbouring towns in this part of Faerun, we've met you, who are a capable civic leader who leads your town with honesty and integrity through the most difficult times, and we've met Nestor Rufio, who is a people trafficking bellend.
She's also said horrible things about your town.
Oh God, yeah, she was really sniffy about Triboar, wasn't she?
Proper shat on it.
Yeah, her office is dangerously unsafe as well. It exploded while we were in there. Don't know why. Doesn't take health and safety as seriously as this town, clearly.
She has a picture of you on the wall full of darts. It's weird.
That's again most surprising. I mean, this is she's by no means a friend. There's no way I could ever classify her as that. As I say, I've dealings on a professional basis with her. She's always come across as arrogant, wanting the best for her town, and without giving anything out to us. And she's clearly very career driven. I understand that it's an election year over in Yartar at the moment. I had heard some news of the streets of Yartar. You say these disappearing children. I assume that you're talking about the children on the streets. Yes. Yeah. I'd heard news that situation had been dealt with, for want of a better word, but not in a negative way. I would just assuming, she's very clearly a woman that cares about her image and is clearly wanting to win an election. And I just assumed that she'd done a good job of cleaning up the streets and done something about the issues that were at hand.
So
do you have any?
You were aware that there was a problem with disappearing children in that city?
No, not disappearing children. That the streets were being cleaned up, not that they were disappearing per se. Do you have any evidence of this? I mean, obviously, when we last spoke, you are aware of my. My
well, yeah, I'm
background.
not. We're not speaking to you here as the Lord Protector of Triboar. If you get my understanding, I'm speaking to you as one concerned citizen to another concerned citizen who wants to make the world a better place. Do we have any evidence? Did we take?
Well, we do have a young girl back with her mother who could probably fill you in on some of the story.
Didn't the confession letter?
Yeah, I think
name,
the confession.
It did speak of her involvement.
Yeah, so the confession letter mentioned that he met Nestra.
Yeah,
and you also have, I think, unless you threw it away, you had the note from her book that suggested she was meeting him. So you have evidence from both sides that they met.
Yeah. We do have substantial evidence. We have a quite damning piece of evidence, and then we have another piece of personal evidence which corroborates the other evidence. It's fairly damning. We came here to speak to you because certain members of my party who are more prone to action rather than thinking would like to go straight back to Yartar. And
Krill looks at Dabov and goes, "Is he talking about me? Is he talking about me?"
Yeah, I think he is.
They want to essentially go back and kill the water baron.
We'll chop her head off. Sorry.
Oh, I mean, certainly, Krill. I don't think that would be. I don't think that would be a suitable approach. First and foremost, I don't think the Lord's Alliance would be take too kindly to you taking those sort of actions against one of their own.
What about a hand? Just a hand? Come on, a little hand. Come on, it'll be all right.
I think any personal
realise
violence.
she had a little hand.
I don't think any violence against the person involved would be worth the risk to you and your reputation. I think you've done the right thing by coming to me and telling me this. I can, as you said, concerned citizen to another. It's very interesting. Obviously, it's a very difficult position from a political point of view, as she is my equal, and I can't go around making allegations, wild allegations. I appreciate you've got evidence, which if you're willing to pass it over, then I will do my best to use that and do anything. It's very possible that the position sorts itself out, shall we say. As I say, it's an election year. my understanding is she's up against a formidable opponent, and that there's a good chance that she may not get through this election. Perhaps that's why she's resorted to some fairly underhand tactics.
Who is she up against?
My understanding she's up against a man by the name of Lord Dryland.
Is the fella from the X Factor with the tan and the big teeth?
That's the one, yes, the very same one. He's made it into this episode of Dyson Desire. His right hand man is called Chico, whilst he has a couple of blonde haired twins who act as his muscle.
And they decide the winner of the election at the judges' houses, do they?
They do. They do go to the judges' houses to have a foray of stuff. I don't know.
Right.
It's gone on too far.
Yeah, it's too much.
So Dabov kind of leans in and says, right, so we're all clear then. She doesn't make it through the next election. Wink.
Excellently time stamping the episode.
I think we'll hand over the evidence, won't we? Because if we decide to do something about it, we don't need evidence because we're not going to have to like Krill Killer. Wait, did we have enough evidence? Where is this evidence? I
don't think we have any moral issues killing anyone at this point.
Do you have a photocopier?
I'm afraid not. Those things don't exist in this world. But you know, it's. I will ensure that this evidence is kept safe. As I say, I'll use it when the time is right, or you know, at least I'll speak to some of my colleagues in the Harpers and see if there's anything that we can do about this situation. Anytime you do need the evidence, then please come back and see me. Although I'm hoping, in the nicest possible way, that we don't see each other again.
It'd be nice not to have to come back to keep yo-yoing back to the same town that we've been effectively stuck in.
Yeah. That was me talking rather than Darathra. Yeah.
Two more things from me,
yes,
Darathra. My wife wanted to ask me. When we first came to Triboar, we were greeted on the approach to the town by a gnome seller of artifacts named of Geordie Dogood.
Yes, I know Geordie.
Have you seen him recently?
I believe he's in town.
Do
you know where he would be?
No, I don't keep track of people that much.
North Shield House, then, or is he a North Shield House kind of guy or a Talking Troll kind of guy? I hope it's a little bit. It's the Talking Troll because I much prefer that barman NPC voice than with a combination of that and a conversation, a three-way conversation between Sebastian, Geordie, and the colourful barman from the Talking Troll.
Right, here we go. I'm letting the dice decide. 1 to 10, North Shield. 11 to 20, Talking Troll. I'm afraid he's a North Shield House kind of guy.
Inspiration.
Doesn't work, I'm afraid. He's a North Shield. He does sometimes go to the Talking Troll, but I think he does well enough that he tends to stay at the North Shield if
That very much leads me on to my second question, I'll be honest with you, Darathra, and I'm sure you were probably expecting this. We will be staying in town tonight, rather unexpectedly. We were not planning to come back to town. We came back to town to bring the both of the children back to town. We don't have lodgings for the night. Now, I'm sure Urgula would happily put us up. But I don't want to ask for you to sort it out, but I'm asking it without asking.
Dweezil, I think... Can I call you Dweezil? I'd like to think that whilst we may not be friends, that's probably a stretch too far with the little interaction we've had, we are at least colleagues who have been through enough that we can talk straight with each other.
Yeah. Can you sort us out some free rooms at the pub, please?
I can't sort you out free rooms at the pub because I suspect they may be busy, but I can tell you that the Six Windows is still empty.
Oh, but it smells.
It does smell, but it is also free. It is also free accommodation.
There's all poo on the floor,
and not all of it's ours.
My understanding is that there are 6 guest rooms, and only one of the and the 7th room is the one that's got the poo on the floor.
No windows. Right,
So
yeah,
you are
I suppose that's... We'll go to the pub.
okay. If I'm just saying that this is your, I can't do anything about the rooms. Urgula runs that business, and it'd be unfair of me.
It's just in any other town, it feels like the town would forever be indebted to the heroes.
Wait.
Whatever, I don't know.
What's happening with the 6 windows?
It's empty.
It's empty.
As in, no one owns it. Sounds like it'd be quite a good reward for 5 handsome adventurers.
There's some legal issues there about that. I mean, although the owner, whose name has completely slipped my mind, although she has been arrested for the murder of her husband, we don't take her property from her. But I mean, that's certainly something we can discuss on your next visit to Triboar. That perhaps property law could be a new spin-off show for this podcast, for example. We've already delved into the schooling situation of Nightstone. I've sort of gone into myself here. Perhaps
Can we basically reenact Faulty Towers? This is going to be brilliant.
How is Tamara, the hater of tiramisu, doing in prison?
Thank you for reminding me of her name. She once we put everything together, once we went into the house and spoke to her, she did. She struggled a little bit with coming up with the truth. It's clear that I think possibly she had a bit of a mental setback when she murdered her husband. I think probably she was in denial to herself that she'd actually done it. But
Bless her.
But we're fairly confident that we know what happened, and yeah, so she's currently in the prisons, just awaiting a trial.
Did she say anything about Greg?
She didn't. She kept talking about the worst tiramisu she ever had. But
Have you know she doesn't actually know a Greg anyway? She knows an Ima.
Yeah.
Which we thought was part of the whole thing, with her struggling with reality. Because I've been to the police, I've been to the Pleasing Platter, and I think it's a delicious tiramisu. So it can't be there that she got it.
Oh,
You
business is good then, is it, Durathra?
Yeah.
Well, as Lord Protector, I get certain privileges, and I would imagine any businesses in town would be willing to let me come and visit. And
Just not the guest houses.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's a difference between me coming and spending 15 gold pieces on a tiramisu and me spending 15 silver pieces on a load of rooms.
How many rooms have you got at your house?
Well, you're in it at the moment, and you look over and see a sad little bed.
Is this really where you sleep?
Well, yeah. Why do you think I'm here until 11 o'clock at night?
Well, you were working when we came in, I think.
Well, I just sometimes roll out of bed, do a little bit of work. This has all got very admin based that doesn't need to be talked about, really.
I've got one more question. I was going to ask Narf last night, but obviously the predicament going on with the boy didn't really lend itself. But do you know how his excavation is going down in the caravan park?
I believe it's going well. I don't think he's fully extracted the piece yet, but I think it's probably another day or so before it's done. Before he gets his big item out. His big. Yeah.
Heard spitting on it helps.
Oh, Luke.
It's right next to a well. Why would he need to spit on it? I don't understand.
Is there anything else, or
I can't think of any innuendo personally.
Should we just go to the pub and batter Geordie then, shall we?
There's only one thing that I ask for, Durathra. Would you be able to give me a gift to remember you by? And in times of difficulty or challenge, I'll be able to take out this gift that you give me and think of the courage and leadership that you offer to your town.
okay? Let's find Yes, then.
I'll just give him something useless like a candelabra or something stupid
Well,
like that.
Give him a
I'm
Rubik's Cube, which he thinks will eventually result in something special happening, but in reality, it's just a Rubik's Cube. Oh, wait, we've done that one.
Hang on a second.
Why don't you give him a belt of giant strength?
MJ, could you roll me a D100, please?
On the king.
D100.
I think, is Stuart the only one here to actually own a D100?
Yeah, but as Nathan will attest, when he saw me try and roll my D100, you need to have a good fortnight if you roll in the D100.
Yeah, I think it's still rolling, isn't it?
Doesn't
It's like rolling a golf ball,
It's a
isn't
ball, isn't it? It's a ball.
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
Right, I think that's 74.
74.
Or 40. No, sorry, 47.
This is so on brand for Quinch. Durathra goes to her desk and she looks around and she's shoving a few things and she's like, oh, well, yeah, I guess the weather's cooling down a little bit. I don't think I'll need this for the time being. And she hands over what appears to be a fan.
Nice.
You know,
Like a
the
paper fan.
Yeah, you know the ones that you fold out. Do you want to unfold it?
Geisha?
A sleeping cat is pictured on the side of the fan.
Oh, okay, nice. Sleeping cat fan.
Out of interest, what would a 74 given him?
A case of 24 different coloured gems.
Is that everything now, or
This is just perfect. You can't imagine.
okay? Good. I hope that you always think of me with that fan.
Do we need a key to get into the 6 windows, or is it just unlocked because no one's going to rob it anyway?
I think we've probably
I
still
think-
got our keys for the rooms anyway.
Yeah, possibly because you basically just got arrested. You got her arrested between.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point.
I don't have a key on me, so go and check it out. And if there is, feel free to break in, and we know it was you. Okay, so you are leaving Durathra, yeah? Nothing else?
Yeah,
Yeah,
nothing else.
to the
Let's
pub.
go find Geordie.
Okay, and you handed over the confession and the note that you got from Nestra's office, yeah?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So you then head off to the North Shield House, which is off to the east of where the tower is.
Yeah.
Could we talk while walking? Because
Yeah, go for it.
oh yeah, go on.
On the way, Dweezil will say some things on the walk and just G you all up. He'll
Great.
say, that was well done, lads. Good work. Let's have a good rest. Blah blah blah. And I'm just doing a bit of me inspiring leadership to give you all some temporary hit points.
That's good
And
because
so-
I've just checked my hit points and realised I'm actually battered still from the fight. Like,
Well, no, you should have long rested. So you had the fight in the cave, and it was like 2 or 3 days for you to get to Triboar.
Ah, okay, nice.
So you would have all your everything. You know, you'd be fully rested.
So whilst Dweezil was saying these inspiring words, Quinch was slowly flapping himself with his brand new fan, and he noticed that the power of the words was being absorbed into the paper of the fan. And now, any time that he uses the fan, he will get inspired in those temporary hit points. So yeah, he just realised that from wafting himself as they're going along on this warm night.
It's 10 temporary hit points now as well. My inspiring leadership.
10 each
Nice.
time. That's great.
Disclaimer that isn't true in the slightest.
I will keep trying to get them in.
so Krill asks, so we're going to the pub. We're gonna find Geordie. I mean, are we just gonna immediately smash his face in?
Oh, I've got every intention of punching him in his stupid little face. Yeah.
I'll hold him. You punch him.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I'm not a man.
Perhaps first we should find out if he's got any other schemes on the go.
No, we'll punch him and then ask him.
Yeah, punch first, ask questions later. That's the.
Okay, minor punches, ask question.
Well, that's why
major
That's why I'm gonna punch him instead of Krill.
Yeah. There's a
One
potential
big,
for me to kill him. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. You make your way over to the North Shield House. As I say, it's not actually far from the Lord Protector's tower, so it's a few minutes walk, if that. And you get there, and you can see some people sort of exiting North Shield House. It's still there's by no means a rowdy atmosphere going on that you can hear from the outside, but you can see lights, and you can see that you can tell that there's still people inside. Still drinking. And you walk in, and you're greeted with a very familiar place. This is the birthplace of the Nuggies, if memory serves.
Do I see Geordie?
Well, as you walk in, the first thing you see is Ursula. She sees you and sort of like waves, but then sort of has a confused look on her face. Like she sort of like waves and then goes, like, "Oh, what are you sort of doing here?" Sort of that sort of expression of like instant familiarity, then followed by the confusion of why you're there.
Was Ursula the one that had the dogs?
Correct.
It is Ursula that had the dogs. Yeah, you don't see the dogs at this point because I think it's safest for everyone if we just keep them out of the picture. You look around the room and you spot a few faces there. Some you remember from last time you were in town. Not people that you necessarily directly interacted with, but just faces you would have. I mean, it's fair to say in this whole game, Triboar's probably the closest thing you've had to a home. You were only there for a few days, but longer than you've been in any other place, and you certainly got to know the town a bit better than anywhere else. So a few faces you recognise, and then sat talking to a human with his back to you, you see a gnome. Thanks for listening. Make sure you don't miss out on the circus's next crazy antics by hitting subscribe on your podcast app of choice. And in between episodes, you can always find us on social media by searching Dice and Desire on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. We're in our 3rd year now, and if you want to help us grow, you can do so in a number of ways. You can tell a friend, because word of mouth really helps us get our name out there, or you can review us on Apple or Podchaser to help with our visibility. Finally, you can donate to our Ko-fi page to help us take the show to the next level. All links can be found in this episode's description. And never forget, sometimes it is a dog licking a tree, yes?
It's a dark and stormy night, and you approach the bar. As the woman turns, she says, "Who are you, adventurers?"
My name's Margaret Battlehammer. Did you want to know more about me than that? I'm a dwarf. Can you tell by my height?
That's right, and I'm Jump Thunderman, everyone. Lead and rhythm lutist of the Justice Loving Friends.
I play drums.
And I'm the lead and rhythm lutist of the Justice Loving Friends.
Yeah, you said that already.
What?
It is my honour to be the near sole vocalist of the Justice Loving Friends. I am a grung, fled from my people due to their slaving nature. But my name is Black.
A beautiful story, Black.
And I'm Morik, the Forest Father. I play the pan flute.
Yep.
I'm tall and greeny
Morik just looking down at himself like, I guess I'm quite furry.
The woman looks at you, fully perplexed, and says, "That's great. I only needed your names for the coffee order."
Oh, just put it down under Quest Fantastic.
A D&D actual play podcast.
What a hot mess.